At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vibra Live. My name is Adam. Here today, new setup, had to bust out the hats from all the different meetups we went to, the swag we accumulated over the last couple of years, meeting all the amazing Hexicans out there. And it is an exciting time to be alive. Hope everybody's doing well. If you guys were not watching yesterday, we had an awesome stream with Rags to Riches and Facing Reality. So check that out if you didn't see it. It was really good. Just went through some history of the Federal Reserve and, went on some rambles and tangents. You know how it goes when we all get together. So check that out. Check us out on Twitter also at Vibra Finance. If you're not following us there, and we're starting some spaces up, trying to bring you that alpha in real time over there. So looking at the bubbles today, it is ugly out there. Render. Now I'm regretting it. I had a bag of render that I bought at 35-40 cents on Gemini, and I bought I got 1,000 coins maybe. It was nothing, $40 or maybe 2,000 coins. I don't even remember. And I sold it at $1.50 up here, and I did not see render ending up doing what it's doing. The stuff with Apple. They're like the AI coin now. So as soon as the AI narrative goes again, render's going to pump like crazy. But you know what? That ship has sailed, and you got to let go of that stuff. There's better stuff out there. A lot of new people, the thing they do, and it kills me, is they come to CoinMarketCap. They'll come here, come to the first page and see what's up the most in the last 24 hours. And that is a big mistake. Do not do that. I mean, that's great to see trends and stuff, but for buying coins, no. Look to see what's down in the last 24 hours and then go from there and pick coins that you might like. So look at that, Flare down 4%. Love that coin for one reason, passive income. That's my strategy in crypto. That's what makes it easy for me, is not having to chase stuff, is buying it and staking it. Kava too. There's two coins that are in the top 100 that I own and I'm super bullish on. And Kava, 19% staking in Atomic Wallet. So you you can download Atomic Wallet. You get your own keys. It's your own wallet. I don't know. It's messed up right now, the staking protocol on here, but it works on my phone. So I don't know if I have like an old version or whatever. But the staking and passive income, that's where crypto for me makes it. It's easy. I earn yield on it, and it's been proven to win. In the last cycle, staking Hex, it saved me from myself before I really understood what I was doing. And I'm glad, in the short term, it sucked losing out on $500,000 in paper gains. But you know what? That will come back in the long term and help me and my strategy and just the amount of growth that I've made understanding the markets. It wouldn't have happened without making all the mistakes and doing the stupid things. If you just hit home runs all day long, it's first of all, it's never going to happen, but you only grow through like diversity and hard times. It's when it's all just a cakewalk, it's just not the same thing. So Flare and Kava, both two coins that I own. Flare, delegating it, you will 10x your bag. Maybe not 10x because you missed the first 3 drops, but there's still 33 more. So all you need, if you buy Flare, all you need to do is click one button. And I guess Mobius is doing it in Atomic Wallet staking. I have it in Bitfrost Wallet, but literally staking and then you just click the button right here, stake Flare, and you stake it. And then I guess it brings up the delegation tab after, and it qualifies you for the drops. So you'll get 33 more airdrops just for delegating and clicking one button. So, take $100, buy Flare. You can buy Bitcoin in Cash App, PayPal. I don't know about Venmo yet, but you can send it right into here, and you can exchange your Bitcoin or anything for $1.50. And that's expensive. It's usually below $1. So that's a great way to earn passive income and get you in that habit of stake and forget and looking at coins and not chasing pumps. It's fun. I do it all the time, but not a good thing for the long term. So just be really careful out there when you're doing the Degen stuff. That's my 2 cents on it. Hello, Sandra Larson. Hopefully you are doing amazing. Appreciate everything you do. Godfather J6. Hope all is well. Mobius, my man. Trust me, bro, you're in the right spot right now. In the next year and a half, everything is going to turn around for you, bro. I promise. Right now we're so early. Some of these Degen plays over here, they'll start to pan out. Look at this Poochie coins doing well. Pepe, wow, that shit the bed. But even Uniswap's up 15%. Chainlink is still hovering over 9 cents. And Trust Swap at 5.5 cents. That's the biggest winner for me so far. Getting it down to just under 2 cents, 3x to the top. And, these are just small plays I'm doing for the fun, so I don't have to chase or whatever. I've swapped like 1 million Pulsex for a couple coins. So it's, not even 1% of my total bag that I'm doing this with. So once you do it with too much, it's not a good thing. It really starts messing with you psychologically. So, one of the things that has been super annoying in the last like 3-4 months with myself and a lot of my clients is that the bank transfers were removed from Bitstamp and Gemini, which were the primary exchanges we use up in New York. And, so the ACH was the best way. You just put your bank account, you sync it, and boom, you're good to go. Well, once they removed that, you had to either use your credit or debit card and get hit with a massive fee or just do a bank wire. And you know how much of a pain it is to do a bank wire. So for a couple months, it was, then you saw in the media all of the stuff about the banks collapsing, Operation Choke Point. It started getting a little bit sketchy, but I saw this email yesterday, great news letting you know that you can now use ACH payment with Bitstamp again, which is super interesting because at the same time, Ripple came out and acquires a stake in Bitstamp Exchange. And I did not know this, that Bitstamp is the longest standing crypto exchange out there. Leading crypto payment firm Ripple. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Has reportedly acquired a minority stake in Bitstamp, one of the oldest crypto exchanges, from Pantera Capital, a hedge fund specializing in cryptocurrencies. The transaction was disclosed in the first quarter report of Galaxy Digital, a crypto management investment firm, which we all know Mike Novogratz, was released in early May. Galaxy Digital stated that it advised Pantera on the sale of its stake in Bitstamp to Ripple Labs in the first quarter. And this is another reason why I'm so bullish on Ripple Labs, the company on Link 2, the pre-sale you can get into right now. I just have a feeling that Ripple, the company, is going to outperform the coin. And you're seeing this. So now they own a portion of an exchange. And at the same time, the same technology they use with the instant settlement, the on-demand liquidity, that's exactly what ACH transfers are. And now that we saw with Silicon Valley Bank and with Silvergate Bank, what was that about? It was about the technology. It was about the 24/7 clearinghouse that they had. And that technology was basically stolen by the Federal Reserve and the FDIC. So now, what do you know? Ripple acquires Bitstamp or a portion of it, but who's running that back to the behind the scenes settlement layer? I'm really curious to see who's in control of that. Is it the FDIC and the Fed? And are they going to keep control of it? And you're going to have to go register with them moving forward? I don't know, but this is just really interesting that all the pieces are starting to fall into place. Right as ACH transfers are restored on the Bitstamp, as Ripple acquires a portion of them, I don't know. It's just, I don't think this is coincidence, guys. I really don't. So it just, a lot of stuff is happening right now. I'm hearing that the XRP lawsuit is going to settle soon, and that's going to be good for all of crypto. We need new money coming into the market. We need a new catalyst to bring in new money. And once the mainstream narrative gets flipped and people aren't looking at crypto and immediately thinking criminal, Silk Road, money laundering, all the bad narratives that have been thrown out there for the last 5-6 years. That's what the public generally thinks. So when you can start to sway that opinion a little bit, it's really going to change. And I think the XRP lawsuit settling and bringing clarity to crypto, I think just the overall sentiment will start to change, and that could be the catalyst for the next bull run. I don't know. It could be AI again, or it could be something brand new that we're all sleeping on. Something with creators, with artists, and us being able to interact with them. I don't know, but something will come along and grab that narrative. And this right here is certainly a hilarious one. Shaq, probably one of the biggest guys in the United States, 7'1", 300 pounds. And nobody could find him to serve his papers from the FTX debacle. So I guess finally, during the broadcast of the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics game in Miami on Wednesday, the game was ironically being played at what is now ICOSA Arena after being renamed from the FTX Arena following the exchange's collapse. Last month, lawyers said that a process server had reached O'Neal outside his Texas house and served him. O'Neal's lawyers, however, claimed that the papers had been thrown at a car and landed on a public road. You can't make this stuff up. It seems absurd to have to go to such great lengths to serve Mr. O'Neal, who is the deputy of the law. He's a sheriff in Florida. I don't know what county or whatever. Also, a judge denied a motion from the plaintiff's lawyer requesting that O'Neal be served digitally through social media and email. That's what was interesting to me. Is in the future, are they really going to be able to serve? Like if say you did something and owed taxes on your crypto and you don't know anything about it, are they just going to be able to serve you online? Are they going to be able to just have your keys and just be able to just take that money from you? I don't know. If this stuff's happening, we saw the Ledger debacle where they got hacked a couple years ago. They lost users' information, and now they're basically, they said if you use their recover service, they can, or law enforcement basically has the right to your account. They'll just hand over your keys. So it's been crazy the last couple months with security. And this here is even worse. Cybersecurity firm claims it hacked seed phrase from a TREZOR T hardware wallet in possession. Unciphered claims to have hacked into the popular TREZOR T model hardware crypto wallet manufactured by Satoshi Labs. The firm showcased in a video the extraction of the wallet seed phrase, exploiting a hardware vulnerability that requires physical possession of the device. I'm starting to see this all over the place. In Oasis and Jump Protocol, they had a vulnerability in there, and they were able to roll back the chain and find keys they didn't know. Magically, people are finding keys that they didn't know they had. And the more that enforcement comes down, the more that legislation comes down and cracks down on the shady or not compliant actors, I think they're going to start magically finding more and more keys. And I think this is a big deal. I've never used a TREZOR in my opinion. And I just got a Engrave, and this thing, I'm telling you guys, is the best wallet I have ever used, seen, anything. I mean, it is unbelievable, this thing. It's almost the size of an iPhone. Look at this. Basically the size of an iPhone. It's all touch screen. It's all biometrics, and it's completely offline. It never once you're plugging a cable into it and sticking it into your computer or anything. It's completely offline, and it syncs to Bluetooth through to your computer, your phone, whatever you use. So this thing is unbelievable, and I highly recommend taking a look at them if you're up in the air about it. I mean, now with Pulsechain and Pulse X out, I'm not taking any chances. And they've said that they're going to build out in the next, I guess, month or two for Pulsechain on that wallet. I think it'll be on the next update on the wallet, which will be awesome. Every there with all the stuff they have now, I don't have any problems with any of my coins, and it's a fantastic wallet. So it's the Engrave 0 is the name of it, if you're interested in it. Honestly, I mean, the thing is unbelievable. It's the highest security certified operating system in the world, EAL7. And it's I mean, from what I've seen out there, this is the best. And wow, that's crazy, Mobius. So your videos where people supposedly hacked hardware wallets that they had in possession. It's exactly what happened to this, I guess, to this TREZOR. So if somebody gets a hold of your TREZOR now, and now that it's on YouTube showing you how to do it, like, why would you even put that on you? I guess it's a good thing now and bring it to light before, I don't know. Honestly, it's just kind of baffling, this whole thing. But that's why with this Engrave, I'm telling you, it's nothing unlike anything I've ever seen. And you can't be safe enough in crypto, honestly. Look, I mean, this is, just a little bit off topic, but Binance, we saw what they're doing. As soon as they got threatened and Pulsechain started doing numbers that were equivalent to them, they started wash trading and just created some coin, I believe, and just traded $1 billion of it back and forth or something. So if they're that scared of Pulsechain and are willing to do that, I feel like all industries get that same urge to, oh God, we got to do something. We need to step it up. We have to catch up. We have to one up them. And that's not good. And, just you can't be safe enough. And this, I don't know, this upgrade here, I don't know if it has to do with the Zen spam attacks or with Pulsechain, or if they just have pressure on them, or if it's something that was, the Luban upgrade was supposed to happen all along. I don't know, but I did like Binance. I do have a couple altcoins still on there, because if I have the option of buying an altcoin and it's on Ethereum or Binance, I'm going to Binance all day. I'm not paying the ETH fees. So I don't have a problem with Binance at all. I'm not in the coin, in just Binance the coin. It's the most centralized coin out there, in my opinion. But it did phenomenal 2 cycles ago, and even last cycle. And just altcoins on there, but they're all going to be on Pulsechain now. I don't see them coming to or having I don't see anything that's launching in the future that won't be on Pulsechain, or at least have liquidity on there. So I'll just buy it on there. We're now on Dex Screener. I don't know why I guess our Arbitrum passed us temporarily. I'm not too sure, but this is amazing. Volume 230 million in the last 24 hours, and we're in the middle of a bear market. We had a horrible day yesterday with liquidations. A bunch of longs got annihilated yesterday. I mean, this was one of the top probably 10 days of the year. Yeah. In liquidation. So these things, they come every, at least once a month, usually twice a month. You get a massive couple longs liquidated, a couple huge shorts liquidated. And it's just part of the cycle. When you're all leveraged, that's why it's so dangerous. If you're not using leverage, or you're not taking out a ton of debt and you're not overextended. That's the problem with our economy today, is that everybody is overextended. Everyone's got way too much debt, and a $500 bill comes in an emergency and you can't pay it, or businesses can't pay it. And I don't, that's just a product of fractionalized reserve banking. And now with technology, you can empty your bank account instantly. When this system was created, you had to walk into your bank and fill out a slip to get your money out. So, things are going to change drastically in the future. They need to. The Federal Reserve, they're stuck right now between raising rates and raising rates. And then they're going to have to cut rates. The debt ceiling, they're going to have to raise the debt ceiling. The world lives on debt. Debt is money. So, everything it's a big show. Nothing is done by accident out there. And I try not to pay attention to it. I'm going to start doing this just once a week, doing a stream on news like this and just other stuff out there. But I want to focus primarily on just Pulsechain and all the stuff going on in the ecosystem, all the new projects on there, all the Degen stuff. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's so much going on. I feel like, why not come on here and just do the Degen plays, do the liquidity providing, all the swaps, and just share it with you guys. When I'm on here messing around or doing whatever, just looking coins up, checking the stuff out, I'm going to just start focusing, I guess, a lot more on the ecosystem. And this was an awesome website too that just came out from Dipcatcher. If you follow him on Twitter, because there's a huge problem with all these scam coins on Pulsechain. It was a big problem on Binance when I used to be on there, and I'm seeing it now on Pulsechain, but it's mostly with all the USDC pairs. So like this Kishka coin or whatever. I don't know if that's the one that's a scam or that's the real one, but I'll bet you there's two. Yeah, there's a USDC pair that's up thousands of %, and it's only 14 hours old. And this one, the regular Pulse one, is 2 days old. So you got to be careful. I guarantee they just ganked the liquidity out of this thing in the near future. Yeah, look at that. So all the gains just gone immediately. You got to be careful. If you're looking at these coins, what you want to do is put them into this website, Pulse Check. So I just did Pepe, for example, and you put in the contract for it, and it shows you what the actual token is and what it is on Pulsechain. So in case, this is the one from Ethereum, but it's actually this on Pulsechain. So when you actually go over to Pulsechain and you look at the ETH contract, it's got a complete different value. It's got way less liquidity. So it's kind of confusing at first if you don't know what you're doing, but definitely be very careful. Only do you not do buy the Pulse and Pulse X pairs, in my opinion. I mean, there are some obviously that are going to be in a stable, but I'm seeing that that's where all the scams are. So if you're like even iffy on it, you're not 100%, don't do it. Just wait and ask someone, or check that pulsecheck.anvil.app. Said go to Dipcatcher. He's got it posted on here. I'll actually retweet it too. And that way it'll be on there. But you can't be safe enough. Exactly, Marco. This is actually underrated and much needed. I totally agree. For people that because it's a problem, guys. I've done it. If you look on my wallets on Binance, I still have some freaking coins on here that I bought because I was messing around. I bought some meme play or something, and it was a honeypot. So you can't even sell it. And it's all because I clicked the contract and I just misclicked. I wasn't paying attention, and I clicked like the contract down from the one that I was doing. And that's what happens. Where is it on here? Let's see. Bobo. There it is. That's the one. 26 days ago, I bought some. And what do you know? It's a complete honeypot. I don't know why it went through in 2 orders or whatever, but and you got that's what happens. One click. I think there was another Cat's Inu, or no, that might have been on Ethereum. 2 of them I bought in my life that were honeypots. I think the other one was Batman Inu or Cat's Claw. I can't remember which one. It was back in the Dinger and Game Zone 2 years ago when we were just FOMOing into anything that looked like you could make money. And that's how you end up getting wrecked. It's so much more stressful than just sitting back and throwing in some liquidity into these pairs, or staking on Kava, or staking on Atomic Wallet with Kava or Osmosis getting 19 and 22%. There's so much stuff that you can do to make money and not have to freaking do what I did, chasing all this stuff, making sure it wasn't a scam, constantly checking the prices to see if it was going up and down. And it just makes life so much harder. So I can't wait till staking comes up on PulseX. I'm going to my plan is actually to add some liquidity to the pair that I have right now, which is just the Pulse and PulseX. I don't know why. Let me see. Am I in the wrong wallet? No. All right. There we go. Okay. It didn't refresh, but so I just harvested my incentive today, and it's only like $8,000 in here. But I think I'm going to add to this because the hex pools got taken down, the eHex and wrapped hex pool, and I think it's because so many people were nuking their stakes on there that Richard did not want that to happen anymore. So to incentivize this 400%, people saw this 400% versus the 9% or whatever it is staking for a year, and just decided to EES because I think it was like 40 or 70 days you would make that money back in that hex to hex pool. So I don't know I don't know why this is going up, the Pulse and PulseX pool, but I'll take it. I thought for sure it was going to go down to like 20%, but at 70% right now, I'm thinking I'm adding to it because if your bag is 50-50 in Pulse and PulseX, I don't think it's that risky enough risky at all if you suffer a little bit of impermanent loss on one side. If you lose a little Pulse but you gain the PulseX, if you're 50-50 pretty much, I don't think it's a problem. The ratio is not getting out of whack at all. It's staying pretty close to like 2.2 to 2.5. I don't think it's going to just get extremely volatile. Look at the bridge is complete. We're pretty stable. So even if we fluctuate from like 2 to 3, even, it's really not. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I'm going to add to this today. Actually, I just need to add some Pulse into here, and I'm probably going to double up my position and just let that sit. And then when staking comes out for PulseX, I'm going to just dump the rest of my bag into there. And I'll probably just hodl some Pulsechain maybe. Or, yeah, I think I'll just hodl Pulsechain. That's what I'm going to do, I think. I'm not going to do a validator. Not my cup of tea. So, yeah, that's my plan for right now. And also, too, that's what it was. So I got really screwed over. I don't know if it's something I did or what, but I was in this API 3, and it's a Chainlink competitor, and the staking was fantastic. It was like up to 45% at one point, and it fluctuated like crazy. But I put my coins in here. Oh wow! So it is this is so bizarre. So I must not have read the terms and conditions. So I put 260 something coins into here. Yeah, 267 coins I locked up, and I earned 55 in interest. So it was almost like it was over 20%. And I went and I withdrew them last week, and it was $40 in ETH gas to unstake it. Which is, just like Hex. And then for some reason, all my interest is stuck in here. I can't touch it. So for almost a year, I bought this coin at the end, in the middle of the boom bear market, put it in here for like a year, maybe a year and a half. Well, I can't even remember. And all of my interest is stuck. So I don't know how this is. It said 0 withdrawable. This is the first time it's changed. And it's been at least, let's see when I unstake this. So almost all my yield of May 18th, I unstaked it. And it cost $42. So that's like 30 of these, like 25 coins to get that back in gas. So it's been a week now, and I've gotten a third of a coin back. So if it's going to take another year for these to become unlocked, like that is so ridiculous. And nowhere, anywhere in here did it ever say that. Once you lock your coins up, they're going to be held captive. So I got completely screwed over. And like, this is more of a reason to like not have coins just spread out all over the place, because you forget about them. Stuff like this happens. And now I got to remember in like a year to come back and check this. Even though I'm going to hold this bag for a little bit of API 3, I just wanted to unstake it and get it liquid just in case we have an alt season, or we had an alt season. And obviously that's not happening now. And I don't know what Kool-Aid I was drinking or whatever. And it just pisses me off. So it's just all the more reason to just provide liquidity on PulseX and Pulsechain and not even have to worry about this stuff like that. And it's on a bunch of different chains too. With the minting the Zen FTs, it's either a full-time job where you have to look at this stuff every single day, or you just do stuff like liquidity providing, single-sided staking, and make life super easy. That's the way to go for me. And that's what I do. I've some stuff in Atomic Wallet staked. I had the API 3 staked. Bridge Mutual is a cool coin that's offering insurance on the blockchain. And I thought that could be a use case in the future that is really needed. So I have a bag on here staked. I have my Colt DAO staked. My Cetify S Fund is on Binance. That's staked. So I just stake and chill. That's the best for me. It's not for everyone. It's people that need more gains in the short term. You got to take bigger risks. And instead of, providing liquidity for Pulse and PulseX, you're going to maybe look at, I don't know, USDT Wrap Pulse or something like that. And that's where I've made that mistake last bull run. And, it's not worth the extra couple bucks, because if it goes bad, the stuff that happens after that, once you get burned or you lose money, you feel that need. I got to get it back. I got to get it back. And once you start in that mindset, it's a slippery slope. So to avoid it altogether and just provide liquidity with coins that I know I'm going to hodl till the next bull run regardless. I took a little bit of profit right before the dump, but I only sold like 5% of my bag. And it was to bridge some stuff over to ETH. And, I just look around at the people that are the most successful that I talk to, and they're not constantly sitting in front of a screen. They make less moves, and more calculated moves, but with bigger money. So I guess, I don't know if it's the same game at that point, but I don't know. Less is more, I see. And you see, it just is what it is. People that are chasing and need it, that think they're going to come just 1,000x or put $100 into this coin and make $100,000. Like, you might as well just go scratch off lottery tickets. And I hate that. That's like all the stuff you see is like only the success stories, only the 1,000x, 10,000x. But reality isn't out there at all. Like, nobody wanted to hear, 3 months after Pulsechain launched, Pulse and PulseX are going to be down 30% from sacrifice rate. No one wants to hear that. People are going to be freaking out, saying they got scammed again. Hex and Pulse and Pulsechain are the trinity of scams. But that's what I'm going all in. When people are freaking out, that's what I'm buying. The cards behind me, Magic cards right now. is a perfect example of, like, in real life, what people do. These are just from the store retail stuff, but I have vintage cards. And right now, if you're into like certain collectibles, they're like 50, 70% off their highs because Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, the company that made them, decided last year they were going to just sell $1,000 pack of Magic cards or a box of cards. And it pissed everybody off to the point where people are leaving the game in droves. And you can go on to Reddit and see stuff that Magic is crashing, it's going to zero, all the players are leaving, or you can just buy the dip and buy stuff 70% off. And people's attention spans are so short now that they'll forget. A Republican now was a liberal when I was a kid. Facts. If you were into homeschooling, organic food and farming, you were a liberal. And now it's completely different. Everything is switched, and people now with screens and with these like dopamine hits everywhere you go, it's a different world out there on social media, and it's not reality. It's the furthest thing from it. And even in like the Twitter spaces, it's all just like copium and hopium. It's very, very rarely do you go in there and get a hard dose of reality. And it's not good. So that's why just like not taking the risks, not doing crazy stuff, finding stuff that you can sleep at night and will help you win. Getting rich is boring. It's not an exciting thing. It's a day-to-day grind where you don't feel the same day in and day out. It just over time, you start accumulating more, and you look back and say, wow, it's been a couple years. Look at that. It doesn't happen overnight. And if it does, it was pure luck, and you can't expect that to be the norm. So we'll get PulseX now. We're down 19% from sacrifice price. And the other day we were up at like 1.2. Pulsechain down 1.89 X from sacrifice. If this goes below, what are people going to do on Twitter? They're going to start freaking out saying it's a scam. Pulsechain's a scam. We knew it. Richard stole everybody's money, and now he's sailing off into the sunset. We told you. I can see it coming already. And that's when you go all in. That's when you double down. That's when, if you believe in something, you buy when there's blood on the streets. When everyone else is giving up, you have to go against the crowd. When you're just jumping on board with the herd, you're fighting over scraps. But when people are leaving in droves, just like with these Magic cards, the vintage stuff that's 30 years old, you can get cards that were $1,000 for $200 right now. So I'm going to buy. I've been buying, and I'll continue to keep buying a couple. And in 2-3 years, they're not going to be $200, and everyone's going to forget about the catastrophe that the current CEO and president created. There'll be a new wave of people in there, a new whole set of products out, and people's minds they forget immediately. It's like stuff never happened anymore, and it's sad to see. And that's why I can't wait to start building a farm and building like Hexago. And I want to see, like, in every single state, somebody having a farm that is like self-sustainable, self-sufficient, not completely off the grid, but not reliant on the beast. So as much as you can have off the grid well water that doesn't have fluoride and chlorine and all the crap in it, and then have like a conference center or like a streaming center, have a guest house, have everything there. So people that are struggling or people that need a place to stay for a week or whatever can come stay, work, just be outside, be around people, get on their feet or whatever. If we had something like that within 6 hours in every state, if within a 4 to 6 hour drive, if we had that, the whole country is connected. And we can start with building our own supply chains, having our own homeschooling for kids. Rags yesterday on stream was talking about his 5-year-old in school and his teachers telling him he's got to get him on meds. He can't focus. Something's just not there. That is crazy. That's like traumatizing to a kid. I didn't want to sit in a schoolroom at 5, 6, 7 years old. It was the last thing I wanted to do. I sat there staring out a window, watching kids playing kickball, thinking about like climbing up the tree, whatever it was. It was the furthest thing from being in a schoolroom. And that's what I'm going to be building, and I want to see built, so we don't have to rely on these stupid headlines that are coming out here every day, no matter what outlet you click. Sorry, being blocked by the camera here. No matter what you click, what website, for the news, it's insanity. It really is. Let's pull up Cointelegraph right now. See, just scroll through a couple of headlines on here. And Germany's recession triggers responses from the crypto community. Well, why is Germany in a recession? Well, let's see, because they didn't have any kids. They got so high in their own supply, they stopped having kids and no one to do any labor. So all of a sudden, migration's a huge problem. No, it's not. It's a having kids problem, having no next generation. Kids are wealth, family are wealth. And that's the problem in America. If everybody had kids like in the 60s and 70s and the baby boomers, everything would be fine. It's a spell that's put on all of us that we're overpopulating the world. There's not enough space. That is the biggest myth. Oil is so plentiful. There's enough oil in the Gulf of Mexico, North Dakota, and Alaska to run the United States for thousands of years. But we're told that oil, climate change, carbon neutrality. It's all insanity. If you weren't paying, for the last 30 years since I was a kid, I've been told about global warming, the oceans are rising. We have a place in Florida, a condo down there right across from the beach. So for the last 15 years, I've been wondering, oh God, when's sea level going to rise? Hasn't risen 1 inch. And I've watched and seen glaciers completely disappear that are still gone. And sea level has not risen at all. My aunt is like 70 years old, and when she was in college was taught about the Great Freeze that was coming. So not global warming, but the Great Freeze. So that was in the 70s, and clearly that wasn't working. So they switched it around, and now it's the polar opposite. And it's just crazy. If you didn't pay attention to any of the media and you just lived your life not exposed to any of it, you'd have no clue about half the stuff that we're afraid about, we're fearing. It's all perspective and perception, in my opinion. The glass can be half full or it can be half empty. And all the media is half empty, half empty, half empty. We're up here in so close to Canada that we get Canadian local TV, and just the overall message of like the broadcasters and the tone of the people, they're lost. They don't know what their culture is, and they're all victims. It is nuts. I've never seen a more just pathetic tone to people. It's like, we really, really in Canada here need to see where we came from. We need to figure out a root, and it's just nuts. I grew up going to Canada all the time. In high school, we snuck to Montreal for New Year's. We snuck up there as much as we could because it was so much fun. And it was a completely different culture than it is now. I don't know what's happened over the last 20 years, but it is crazy. Crazy. So yeah, I don't want to go. Let's just check the Blockworks here for a second. That's it. What's up, Vets? How you doing, my man? Appreciate you stopping in here. Hope all is well. I have 4 kiddos and over 100 doors in Texas, working on my morning trees right now while I wait for seeds in Hexaco pulse to mature. There you go. Kids are well. I'm telling you, bro, we're like programmed to think the opposite. It's like a burden. It's not true. We'll have multiple farms in the Texaplex was what I meant to make. Okay. I see. Hell yeah, Moondog. That's what I like to hear. With lots of leather-bound books and wallpaper made from bulk mat. Dude. My cardboard common fort. That's a good idea. Start making wallpaper out of it instead of forts. They're not useful at all. It's programming. If you tell them to lie enough times, they will believe it. It really is crazy. The Great Freeze. The Great Freeze. The Great Freeze is coming. In the 2000s, the Great Freeze is coming. So now we just completely dismiss it. That is so crazy if you really think about it. And now we're taught the polar opposite and we fear it. And now everything is, are you carbon neutral? And even on TV, some of the ads for shows, it's like this show was filmed on a carbon neutral set. Or it's crazy, the stuff that I'm just seeing out here. And it's like, it's crazy. South Korea passes bill mandating lawmakers disclose crypto assets. DeSantis campaigns on pro-Bitcoin, anti-CBDC. There you go. I called this months ago that when the Republicans take office, they're going to blame everything on the Democrats, and it was their fault. We're going to come in with all the legislation and get the show on the road. It's broadcasting of programming, but you can tune to the channels you're tuned into. It's all in the language. The media is so good at spellcraft and like trickery with words. It really is crazy. And Sandra, thank you for coming in. You are awesome. Your streams with Lindsay and Wales and everyone are amazing. So Ron DeSantis is going to be the darling who brings crypto and anti-CBDCs to America. But is he going to really be able to defeat Trump? I don't know. Trump is the right wing's darling now. He's the new savior. And it's so crazy how you see this, the Christian Catholics. How dare you? If you're not, if you don't do this, you're not a real Catholic. You're not a real Christian. If you don't do this, you're not a real Republican. If you don't follow Trump, you're not a real Republican. If you follow Ron DeSantis, you're not a real Republican. It's crazy. And it's like they're right and left are wings of the same bird. They're all puppets to the central banks, in my opinion. And the Fed. I don't know. I just find that to be very, very, very true. The SEC under the Biden administration has pursued a series of enforcement actions against crypto companies. Governor DeSantis also made it clear that he would strongly stand against any potential attempt by Congress to ban Bitcoin, although the prospect has never seriously been considered. Oh my God. This stuff is like, you have to be able to laugh at this stuff. Like it's a movie playing out in front of our eyes. It really is. I, as president, will protect the ability to do things like Bitcoin. You don't need to protect anything, bro. Everything is perfectly fine right now. I just do not have an itch to control everything that people may be doing in this space. DeSantis is considered a top rival to Donald J. Marcus for the Republican nomination, although he currently lags behind the former U.S. president by a significant margin of over 30 points in early polls. Oh, my God. Oh, man. If I'm president, we're not doing a CBDC, he said. I think that would be a huge, huge imposition on the people's financial freedoms and financial privacy. He expressed that CBDCs will result in a significant shift of power from individual consumers to a central authority. Well, we are wholesale CBDCs are coming. That is 100%, I think, a fact. That they need it for liquidity. Right now, the threat on bank runs is real. So with on-demand liquidity, with instant liquidity, they can solve this problem. And it was interesting. When I logged into MetaMask earlier this morning, I had an update, and I was reading through the terms and conditions, and it was talking about MetaMask is owned by Consensus, and they said, and also the other companies are blockchains, and it was like Quorum and a couple of blockchains I'd never even heard of. So MetaMask is going to be the wallet that is standard to all the blockchains. It's public or private. All the stuff they're using is going to be MetaMask compatible. So that's why, just go and check this site out, guys, when you get a chance. I don't know if you can find it from the main website, but it's metamask.io/institutions, and just check it out and see what you think about it. What they're doing and how inevitably everything we're doing right now, none of it is private. We all think it is, but it's not. I've been talking to people that have friends and family that work in law enforcement, and they've said that we can pretty much confiscate any Bitcoin in any wallet. So cash is the ultimate symbol of freedom, right? So we do not want to go cashless, and even like pumping Bitcoin or pushing whatever, it's ultimately getting rid of cash. And they started it in 2020, and they're gonna keep straining it. And no matter, all of crypto is trackable, every part of it except maybe Monero and Zcash. But to get on somewhere to buy it, like, you have to KYC or register almost somewhere. I guess you don't actually. If you go to Vegas and there's some of the Bitcoin ATMs, you can deposit cash and start a MetaMask account with a new email address. So there's ways of doing it, but it's very hard. The average person is not going to do it. They're going to just go down and do what's the easiest thing to do, is just go to their bank, go wherever, and pay the fees. Like at that Bitcoin conference, the guy that was saying, "Oh yeah, I'll gladly give 5% for you to maintain custody of my Bitcoin." Like, that lazy attitude that's like being presented as the way to go. It's crazy. It's the polar opposite of how you should think. You should never want to give people away money for holding your stuff when you can do it yourself. Take the time to learn how to do it. It's not hard. So we're going to be able to have access to all this stuff that's being built out. Don't worry about any of it. It's all going to be, they're going to have their walled off gardens that they settle with between the banks. But there's going to be, if you want to buy into, like, I don't know, we all throw down and buy a hotel room at the, the Regis in Aspen. So we all throw in and we get a $800,000 room there, and then it rents out and we all get a kickback of it every month. We'll be able to take our crypto and buy into real estate, buy a Rolex that's authentic with an NFT, buy art, buy magic cards. We'll be able to use our crypto to buy all these things and buy real life assets. And I think that's so important, is to cash your crypto out into tangible physical stuff. People are sleeping on the importance of that. And as every year goes on, everything moves more digital, more paperless. And it's going to get to a point with AI, I think, that people are going to miss the human aspect of it, and they're going to want it again. The pendulum always swings back and forth. So I always encourage people to cash out into stuff that is, a physical asset, or diversify some of your profits into tangible assets that you can hold and touch. There's just nothing like it, in my opinion. But that's all I got for today. CBDCs will be used to rehypothecate as needed. Well, I think so too. I think they're going to be, they're all going to be an offer. It's going to be for universal basic income, or some kind of like bailouts or stimulus or Medicaid, whatever it is. It's going to be an offer that you're going to sign up for. There's no way that they're going to just force you to just do this. It's people are going to take the ticket like they've always done. They said the same thing about Social Security when that came out. And now look at it this many years later. BTC is only secure 256, and USDC is already private. Exactly, bro. What about Tether? There's a great interview with Danelle Dixon, the CEO of Stellar, and the CEO of Franklin Templeton. And in the middle of the interview, they both start laughing because the one lady, she goes, yeah, all the regulators and my Department of Justice friends tell me that Tether and USDC are their best friends. And they start laughing and giggling. And it's like, that's so true. Of like, we're already pretty much using them. But it's like, you know, I don't worry about it right now. I'm not scared of it. Exactly. Right now, ratio trading. Exactly. That's all I'm doing is buying some of these alts. And I'm going to buy some Hex right now. I'm going to take some of my Pulse and Pulse X and buy Hex because, I don't know, I just think it's a little bit undervalued. I think it'll pump short term. But I feel like the second I do that, Pulsechain's going to pump. So that's why I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually buy some Hex with dry powder. That for me, that's the play. I do not want to be selling any of my Pulse and Pulse X, especially right now at a little bit of a loss. It just doesn't make sense for me. So, John May, what's up, my man? Hope all is well. They're going to try to trick. Exactly, bro. It's all going to be an offer. All of it. Shut your bank account down and use this new system. We'll give you $1,000. Or, with if you take this new stimulus and you do it in CBDC, we'll give you an extra $500. Whatever it is, it will be an offer. I promise. They will not just force us to use programmable, trackable money. Like they're bringing it out there and just putting it in your head. So when they're all of a sudden used between the banks as wholesale CBDCs, people don't say a word. And it'll be a slow integration, I think. But we'll see. Time will tell. That's why we got to build our own systems, our own supply chains, and our own Hexaco. And it starts with like a tomato plant or, a blueberry bush or a chicken or something. And you just go from there. And that's what I'm going to be doing. We're planting our garden right now, getting stuff in. So can't wait for that. There's just something special about growing your own stuff or raising your own food. And if you know, you know. So that's all I got for today, guys. Appreciate all you stopping in. John May, get rid of that cough, bro. Erwin's spreading it around. Not good. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Appreciate all the support. Moondog, Sandra, Vets, Mobius, Lindsay at Vibra. See you guys tomorrow.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.